Does that girl ask? That was Mr. Fannis.
Calling to order the regular board meeting of the Downers Grove Park District for the 17th of July, 2025. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bender,
Here.
Mr. Dahlstrom, Ms. Johnson.
Here.
Mr. Lunt,
Here.
Ms. Welch. Here.
Commissioners, at this time, I'm asking for a motion for consideration. Commissioner Dahlstrom is absent due to work-related obligations and in accordance with the Open Meetings Act and district policy, has requested to participate remotely. This constitutes a qualifying reason for remote attendance and a physical quorum is present. A motion to approve Commissioner Dahlstrom's remote participation.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bender,
Aye.
Ms. Welch. Aye. Mr. Dahlstrom, Mr. Lunt.
Aye. This time we ask all participants to rise and place the flag as we recite our pledge of allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America. And to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Secretary, any changes to the agenda?
Yes, we are going to remove item G2, fitness equipment discussion, and we'll move that to the next regular board.
Okay. G2 reflected in minutes is being struck in this agenda and will be on the August 2025 regular board meeting. Item number A6, public comment. Is there anybody here that has any public comment? Yes, ma'am. Please approach the podium and like to state your name for them.
Hi, I'm Marge Mark. I'm an almost 30-year resident of Downers Grove. I decided to come here tonight because with a retail management and customer service background, I know it is much more common to hear complaints and negativity than thank yous and praise. Over the past month, I've emailed the park board over my safety concerns about the motorized dirt bike riders at McCullum Park. I back up to the east side of the walking path towards the north end of the park. Over the past year, there has been an increased usage of these bikes by younger people at McCullum and the surrounding neighborhood. Any motorized vehicle is not allowed in the park. Neighbors and myself aren't able to stop these young people much as we try. I emailed my concerns to the park board last month, along with some possible suggestions. One suggestion was additional split rail fencing where these bikers like to catch air and jump the walking path. None of us want to see a tragic accident of a path user being hit. Thank you for the great email dialogue we've been having about our beloved park. I, along with so many neighbors, were thrilled today when some additional fencing was installed. The receptive and responsive replies I've received, especially from Bill and Eric, have been wonderful. It truly takes a village to get things done. Thank you.
Quite welcome. Do we have anybody else for public comment? Hearing none. Item number B1, recognition of guests.
I guess this evening we have a number of Eagle Scouts with us. The soon to be flock out there, whoever would like to go first.
Hello, everyone. My name is Ada Stoika from Troop 595 of Downers Grove. I'm an Eagle candidate and have been working hard towards the highest rank in Scouting America. Last time I was at a board meeting, it was January, proposing my plan to the board. On June 28th, I completed my Eagle project at Marduk Farm Park. My project was a 7-hour process of restoring 11 drainage systems for the spigots at Marduk Farm. My fellow scouts, family, and friends worked hard to widen the holes around each spigot to place and assemble 4-foot wooden posts at each spigot. And the old system was deteriorating wood and had bad placement, so we replaced it with treated lumber to be more sturdy and last longer. As well as the holes were dug out further in front of the spigot, so the water would drain through the gravel instead of on top of the dirt, creating mud and no actual drainage. During and after the project, a couple of people were already thanking us for the changes made and stated it would be much easier to work with a fully functional system and out of the mud. Weed cloth was also placed under the gravel to make sure weeds don't grow over the drain. So I had a total of 35 volunteers the day of my project, who in total worked 140 hours to help me complete my project. And that was just the day of. I give a big thank you to Mr. Hermanis and Mr. Roselle, the superintendent and the director of Parks and Facilities, for making this possible and providing crucial materials needed for the project, such as gravel, weed cloth, and pulling out the wood in squares. They definitely made my project one day shorter. I'm happy to have worked with the Downers Grove Park District to benefit the community, take one step closer to being an Eagle Scout. Thank you.
Nice work.
Hello, everyone. It's great to see you after a couple months. On May 15th, I proposed my project to you, which involves paving part pathway for Lime Woods Nature Center. As a reminder, my name is Joseph Enriquez, and I come from Troop 99 in Downers Grove, Illinois. Next slide. So there were many areas that Mr. Maywin, who's the beneficiary representative, was looking at for me to form the project at, and this caught my sight the most because you can see a lot of vegetation, a lot of ruts, a lot of potential erosion, and I knew something needed to be done. So, next slide. I went to Tamlings for these materials. The process would involve digging the ground about 6 to 7.5 inches down, putting in reinforced limestone until it covered all the soil on the bottom, and covering that gravel base with the 3/8 limestone until it reached the line where I would put spray paints that measured from the ground up 3 inches and 1/8. And then the pavers were installed, and the soil that was dug up was used to fill in the paver holes and whatever holes that the gravel base was exposed. Next slide. These were a week or two before the project. I had the materials delivered to the staging area, so that way we weren't rushing the last day, and to ensure that no one was using these materials, and to show everyone, hey, these are the materials for the project. We use tarps provided by my troop to keep it safe. Slide. And the day before the project, the Lyman Woods staff took the tiller, and they were able to dig up the project sites. And on the side, you can see the soil that would be used to not just to fill in the paper holes, but also create 2 giant berms that would block off a creek that was right by the pathway, so to ensure that no more erosion would take place from water overflowing onto the pathway. Next slide. And as a lot of volunteers showed up that day, about 20 people, including myself, were there that day. And this is not including people who were able to help. This is not including people who were able to help, not just on the daily project. People like Mr. Quinn, who I want to give a big thank you to, was doing nothing but guide me through the process, ensure that I had all the materials and tools needed for this project, and all the information needed to ensure that this project went off without a hitch. Next. And here's the final results. 42 pavers installed onto the ground, and you can see the berm blocking off the creek, and we're able to use more of that soil for any extra ruts on other parts of the pathway to ensure that no other spots there were no other spots for potential erosion. Next slide. But I want to give a big thank you to Mr. Maywin, who like just helped me, like I said, guide me through the process, ensure that all the information needed, made sure I wasn't lost in the dark. And I want to thank all of you for just giving me the ability to help out this nature center and give visitors a better reason why they should take their time of the day to just wander off into nature. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Joseph. I know I speak for the entire board to both of our Eagle candidates. Thank you very much. I don't know if you know this or not, but at Marmaduke, a lot of those fields are used for growing for the homeless that they take. So your efforts are greatly appreciated, and we thank you for your leadership in the school. So thank you again.
So much.
Do have some other visitors with us today, some invited guests from the staff. As the board is aware, Dave will be retiring in October, and we promoted Michelle Pusateri up to his position. So she'll be taking over. Right now, she's in a transition. That opened up her position, which opened up some positions. So I'm going to turn it over to Michelle to introduce our staff that are getting new challenges coming October.
Absolutely. So we've got some staff here. You may have met some of them. We also have a brand new staff member. So as Bill mentioned, we've been really working hard the last few months after Dave announced his retirement to make sure we're planning for this transition, and so we don't miss a beat from the rec department. So after I was announced as Dave's replacement, the next step was filling my role as superintendent of recreation. So we did open that up internally to our recreation staff or anybody in the district, but specifically recreation staff, and had several applicants, did interviews. And so I'm excited to announce that Samantha Donovan here will be taking over for me as superintendent of recreation. Sam started working for us in 2019 as a recreation supervisor. She did primarily camps and some general programs, but our link before and after school program that we used to run, she was hired to run that and did a great job. She then transitioned to be a division manager at Lincoln Center and then assistant superintendent of recreation, and now her new role. So we're really excited. All right, so then the next step was filling Sam's role as assistant superintendent of recreation. So again, we did an internal posting, had several applicants, did interviews, and I'm excited to announce Anna Fontanetta as our next assistant superintendent of recreation. So Anna is currently a recreation supervisor for us. She actually started in 2013 at Lyman Woods and started part-time, quickly moved to full-time, was a supervisor out there, and then transitioned over to the Lincoln Center in 2019, I believe, to oversee our cultural arts programs. So dance, music, art, theater. And then recently, within the last couple of years, took over our Lincoln Learning Center preschool program at Lincoln Center, and early childhood programs, camps, special events, all that good stuff. So we're really excited for Anna's transition. We are currently in the process of hiring Anna's position, recreation supervisor. We posted that both externally and internally. We didn't have any internal candidates, but we are doing first round interviews this week. They've already done, I think, 4 interviews. We have one more tomorrow. So we'll keep everyone updated on that. But also here with us tonight is Sarah Blazer. So I've mentioned her at a previous board meeting. Sarah was just hired as a rec supervisor, started mid-May with us. She filled a vacancy that we had since January. So Sarah's overseeing dance, birthday parties, general interest. I don't know, if I've camps, all kinds of special events, again, all kinds of programs, general interest. She started probably the busiest time possible, jumping right into the dance recital that happened 2 weeks after she started in summer camp, but doing a great job. And we're so happy to have Sarah. She also started with us part-time at Lyman Woods a few years ago, and then left for a full-time job elsewhere and has now come back to us. So we're really excited for that. So yes.
Congratulations.
A lot of transition happening in the rec department that we're really excited about. And the rest of the team has been wonderful in helping with all of this. And everyone's just really excited for the next steps. And we'll keep everyone updated, like I said, on Anna's replacement, and hopefully can hit the ground running in October, although we'll miss Dave. Thank you.
Again, congratulations on your new roles and responsibilities. B2, written correspondence.
Other than what was attached in your EIs, we have nothing.
Okay. B3.
Yes, we have representatives from Sawyer Fidalgo, our investment advisor, here today. We'll turn it over to him for an update.
This is Tom Sawyer. He is representative for Sawyer Fidalgo. Some of you may remember him from last year. He comes once a year to give a quick update on our investment portfolio and gives a little insight into what we might be seeing in the future. We have partnered with Sawyer Fidalgo since the fall of 2021, and we have seen amazing results with them in our investments, the investment portfolio itself, along with the returns on our investments. He did give you guys hard copies. He passed out hard copies, as well as that it is electronic and diligent for you to access as well.
And I hasten to add, I'm an Eagle Scout from Troop 3, Centenary Methodist Church in Cape Girardeau, Missouri, 1970 something. So I'm gonna think back like that. It's fun to see the scouts here tonight. Every once in a while I get lucky enough to get invited to speak at an Eagle Court of Honor, you know, when I kind of bump into somebody. And so I get hair stands up in my arms when I think of it. Anyway, my job tonight is to give you a very brief update on the portfolio. And I'll just give you a quick tour of the portfolio. And then if you have any questions, I'd be delighted to try to answer them. And now my page numbers on my little hard copy here at the bottom of the page in the middle. So I'm looking at page 3 of our report, which is the account overview. And for those of you that are not necessarily intimate in the public fund environment, you're guided by the Public Funds Investment Statute Guidelines, Public Funds Investment Act. And that limits what you can do from the types of assets you own. It has gotten more flexible through the years. More often than not, when we work with a public entity, we point them to the more conservative, side of the way the statute is structured and have investment policies typically develop that way. That said, if you look at the pie chart at the top of the page, you can see how we're diversified in the account currently. And I'll comment, the left-hand side of that kind of peach-colored half of the pie, that's a pure dedicated money market position. We're authorized currently to invest $7 million in actual securities. And we keep the other half, really, it's next day liquidity for the district, should you need it. More on that in just a minute. As of late, if you look down at what we own U.S. Treasuries, marketed exchange traded certificates of deposit, U.S. government agencies, that's the Fannie Mae's, Freddie Mac, Federal Home Loan Banks, other words you hear about. We do have a few taxable municipals in there. And cash equivalent, pardon my voice, is actually the money market fund position that we have. We'll take a closer look at that in a minute. The cash flow review in the middle part of the page, second column from the right, we'll look at this year through June 30, so the first half of this calendar year. We started the year with 11,505,246. You had 5,719,813 come in to the account from the district. We turned around and distributed out 3,550,000 back to the district. You had price appreciation in the underlying bonds of 46,567. And interest income, hard dollar income of 206,061. A little bit of change in the accrued income, and we closed out at 13,928,159. All in, the fund is up 253,101 bucks for the first half of this year. If you want to assign a rate of return to that, that's about a 2.6% rate of return. Double that for half, for a full year, you're running at a run rate of about 4.6. That has been fueled a bit by interest rates moving lower, so bond prices moved higher. And that helped, on a total return basis in the fund. And don't worry, I won't read all the columns, to you on the page. Since we started working together back in 2021, as Trish mentioned, the district's 1,142,858 better off. That's their earnings over that window of time cumulatively. And I will say, compared to a number of our other clients, I think the district does a nice job of using this account. You don't let money sit idle elsewhere. You keep it in, take it back as you need it. And I think it certainly complements, your rate of return as you move forward. We have a couple of projected income measures for you. You see down below. We tend to use these to manage cash flow. So that middle section just suggests that assuming we don't reinvest anything, the run rate for interest income is a little over 500,000 a year in the portfolio. So that's hard dollar interest. If we build in the maturities of the 13 current portfolio of almost 14 million, about 2.8 million will turn over in cash flow this year. So that gives us a notion of planning and how we're going to reinvest as we move forward. Page 4 is just the quarter by quarter history that shows you the net investment gain. Page 5, I consider kind of the most important page in the presentation because it gives you the true portfolio characteristics and risk reward characteristics. And if you take a look at that green bar at the bottom and move across that principal column, that's the maturity value of the securities we own at 6,980,000. The actual market value is 7,002,405. So with a little market appreciation, we're $2,400 over our $7 million cap, but that's all from earnings. Keep going to the right and you see the yield to maturity. So this is a snapshot in time. If as of June 30, the yield to maturity on the overall portfolio is 4.1%. If I didn't do anything to the portfolio, but just let it live its life, that's going to be the rate of return on the assets, over the life of the portfolio. Now, that's not reality. We reinvest things and the market changes, but it gives you a sense of the yield. Noting that just to the right of that, the modified duration, 1.5. Think of that as an average maturity, 1.5 years. It's a measure of interest rate risk. So we're keeping things still pretty conservative in here, even though we're nicely laddered out to 2028, the portfolio currently. By the way, that excludes the cash. That's just the bonds only. It's not your money market position. And there is a whole listing of a bunch of securities. I wouldn't dare read those to you. But on page 9, you can see the 2 line items down below under cash equivalent. You see the Schwab Government Money Market Fund, which has $174 in it. That's a daily sweep fund. We don't have to buy it or sell it. Money comes in and automatically posts to that fund. That fund is yielding you 3.9%. Below that is the Schwab Treasury Money Market Fund, which is an institutional purchased money market fund. So we do trade that day in and day out. If I get a request from the district to send them $500,000, we'll go online, sell that fund, and it becomes available the next day. Always valued $1, but we're picking up an additional 30 basis points in yield, 4.2 versus 3.9 in the purchase over the daily sweep fund that we use for you. And again, it's all treasuries. So from a quality point of view, it doesn't get any better than that. Moving forward, we have a collection of transactions. And then on page 13 is our quarterly market commentary. And that's always a question. Okay, well, here's where we're at today. Where are you going to go, from here? And after a decade of having interest rates near zero, it's kind of nice to have some yield to work with. Certainly, we're probably at a cusp from a rate point of view at the moment. And what I mean by that is we published this as of June 30, and in some ways it's already dated, given the news that you see out there. We've got a couple of reads on inflation as of late. It came in a bit higher than expected. The year over year went from 2.4 to 2.7%. Add to that a really strong retail sales number today, and an economy that continues to move along at a pretty good clip, compounded by the uncertainty of the whole topic of tariffs. Where is that going to point this ship down the road a little bit? So far, it's been resilient, but the Fed has taken a pretty cautious stance in terms of cutting rates, much to the consternation of the current administration, as we all know if we watch the news at all. That said, I think they've done a pretty good job of managing it, and I think near term, short-term rates are likely to hang in there, at the levels we see pretty well. They have a July meeting. We'll see what comes out of that. If you flip over a page, on page 15, you see our Fed funds rate forecast. Again, this is as of June 30. And what it points to is that red line above it, actually in the yield curve, you can see the short end, which is directly controlled by the Fed. Short-term maturities, 1 to 6 months. That's a function of what the Fed does. Out past that is a function of market action. And longer term yields have come down below 4%. And that's an expectation that the Fed will cut rates in the future. The market's pretty efficient and discounts that information pretty quickly. So what we have begun doing as opportunity permits, for a window of time, we were keeping everything really short. Money market, T-bills. We've begun to extend out and lock in the 4% plus yields when we can get them, with the notion that the Fed will trim rates at some point. That said, we got a nice little ladder that'll turn over in your portfolio. And we'll keep probably, as it stands today, tacking on to the end of that, keep it lengthened out so you see the yield as we go forward. Other than that, we don't do anything real sexy in here. It's not, it's not a real go portfolio. We just try to maximize your income and keep your money safe for you. With that, I can pause. I was promised 5 or 10 minutes and I'll stick to that. Any questions I can answer for the group? I'd be delighted to.
Commissioners, any questions? Concerns?
Other than that, I thank you for having us out. We're always glad to come see you.
I do have one question.
Yes, sir.
Reasonable growth rate is still around that 3% rate, or
Economic growth rate?
no, our portfolio, as you were mentioning before.
Oh, you're assumed, I think it's a little higher than that right now, actually.
Okay,
If you got a yield maturity of 4%, an average maturity of 1.5 years, 2 years, I think you're looking at that 4% rate for a couple more years to go.
realistically.
Yeah.
A good number. Okay.
I think it is. If I were working on a budget, I would probably use the kind of current yield type number and take the price action out of it. But I think from where you sit today, I think that's a good number. The world could prove me wrong tomorrow, but I think that's reasonable.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate it.
Sure.
I would like to just point out and thank you for mentioning about the district managing money and managing the fund very well. That is really Trish, who'll make sure that we're moving the money over to the investment firm so that we're getting the best yields and the best return that we can. So thank you, Trish, for doing that.
I think, but we have a lot of public entities that we work with that it's their business, but I think send them way too much in a checking account. One, that has to be collateralized. Two, is paying 30 basis points. And it's so easy in today's world technologically to move money back and forth and keep it invested. That just makes sense to do it.
Thank you, Mr. Floyd.
Thank you very much, everybody. Maybe I won't wear a suit next time.
Mr. McAdam, item number C, consent agenda.
Thank you. We have 11 items for your consideration on consent agenda this evening. Approval of minutes, June 26, 2025, regular meeting minutes, and June 26, 2025, closed session minutes. Treasurer's report, investments, payment of bills in the amount of $1,093,392.69. Change order number 1, which is deduct, KD Landscaping, Sterling and Davis Playground Renovation, 2025. Payout number 2, which is the final payout, KD Landscape, Sterling and Davis Playground Renovation, 2025. Payout number 2, Integrated Lakes Management Incorporated, Natural Areas 3-year maintenance, 2025 through 2027. Payout number 1, which is the final payout, Perfect Turf Distributing LLC, Sterling and Davis Park Artificial Turf Grass Safety Surfacing. Payout number 1, NPN Flooring, Lincoln Center and Recreation Center Flooring Project. Payout number 2 and number 3, which is the final payout, True Colors Industrial LLC, Administration Office Roof Resurfacing. And approval of ordinance 1340, an ordinance declaring certain Park District personal property as surplus and authorizing sale or disposal.
Thank you, Mr. McAdam. Commissioners, you've heard the consent agenda. Any comments, concerns, discussion? Commissioner Dahlstrom?
None for me.
Thank you, sir. I'd like to have a motion for the approval of consent agenda as read into the record.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bender,
Aye.
Ms. Welch,
Aye.
Mr. Dahlstrom.
Aye.
Mr. Lamont.
Aye. Item number D1, action items, Mr. McAdam.
The first action item is staff is seeking approval of the community solar subscription program. We had a presentation by representatives last meeting. Staff is here to answer any questions you might have. Specifically, Eric will answer those questions.
Commissioners, any comments or concerns regarding D1? Hearing none, can I get a motion for approval of action item D1 for approval of the community solar subscription program?
I move to approve the executive director to enter into agreements with US Solar and Solstitch for the community solar subscription program.
Thank you, Commissioner Bender. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Bender.
Aye.
Ms. Walsh. Aye. Mr. Dahlstrom.
Aye.
Mr. Lund.
Aye. Action item D2.
The next one is staff is seeking approval of the Gilbert Park cell tower land lease. Specifically, we're looking to authorize myself to enter into the land lease agreement with SBA Monarch Towers LLC for the Gilbert Park cell tower site, resolution 2504.
Commissioners, I know we've discussed this at the previous meeting. Are there any comments or concerns regarding this item? Commissioner Bender? Commissioner Dahlstrom?
None for me, Commissioner Lund.
Then I'd ask for approval of the Gilbert Park cell tower land lease, action item number D2 on the agenda.
I move to grant authorization to the executive director to enter into a land lease agreement with SBA Monarch Towers 1 LLC for the Gilbert Park cell tower site, resolution number 25-04.
We have a motion. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bender.
Aye.
Ms. Walsh. Aye. Mr. Dahlstrom.
Aye.
Mr. Lund.
Aye. Yeah.
Yes, staff is seeking approval to authorize myself to enter into a contract with organic sediment removal systems for the dredging of the irrigation pond at the Belmont Golf Club for a total contract amount of $142,775. This is a project in conjunction with the irrigation project that we're doing.
Excuse me, Bill. We have to do the resolution first. The 2504, sorry.
They combined it into one almost.
Well, yeah, we have to do separate.
I'll make a motion to adopt resolution number 25-04.
Understood. Thank you, Commissioner Bender, Commissioner Walsh.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bender.
Aye.
Ms. Walsh. Aye. Mr. Dahlstrom.
Aye.
Mr. Lund.
Aye. And we back to item number D.
Now we're going back to the dredging.
But are there any comments, concerns, commissioners?
It's a comment. I was surprised by
None for me. Thank
price
you.
difference.
I can explain that a little bit. So they're very high end. That company uses machinery to do the dredging. The low bidder uses scuba divers. They go in with hoses and they actually will go across the bottom, same result, but the machinery is a lot more cumbersome and slower. So that's the big difference.
Wow.
I'm sorry, did you say the machinery is slower?
It just kind of moves very slow because of you're stirring up all the sludge. It has to go, it creeps along.
Is there a danger to scuba diving and doing this?
No.
Do we ever decide where we're moving the dredge stuff to, or is that still an open discussion?
I think we're still.
Well, again, this company come back and they're originally we were told we need 6 or 8, 9 bags of.
Yeah.
Right.
We don't need that with this other company. They use, we found out the other company used smaller bags, which of course meant more bags. So they have bigger bags now. It'll be on the kind of the right-hand side over by the elementary school.
Okay, on the driving range again?
Yeah.
Okay, no questions.
Any other questions, concerns regarding this action item? Hearing none, I'll entertain a motion for approval.
I move to authorize the executive director to enter into a contract with Organic Sediment Removal Systems for the dredging of the irrigation pond at the Belmont Golf Club for a total contract amount of $142,775.
Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bender.
Aye.
Ms. Walsh. Aye. Mr. Dahlstrom.
Aye.
Mr. Lund.
Aye. Then we have action item number D5.
Yes, staff is seeking authorization to go out to bid for the provision of portable restroom units to meet the Park District needs for the years the next 3 years. And this is something we usually do, put out for the porta potties, a 3-year contract, lock in the price or know what the increase is going to be. Dave or Michelle can answer questions.
Commissioners, any questions, comments, discussion?
Did they come in fireproof?
They do not. But that's a business, fireproof and explosion proof.
Explosion proof?
Yeah, there's districts that around the 4th of July literally chain them up and lock them because they blow up.
I would add self-cleaning to that too.
Is there, I'm not gonna say a word. Is there a motion for this?
I'll move to grant authorization to bid for the provision of portable restroom units to meet the park district's needs.
Is there a second?
Second?
Give a motion and second. Roll call, please.
Bender,
Aye.
Ms. Paul,
Aye.
Mr. Dahlstrom,
Aye.
Mr. Lunt.
Aye. E1, board business, president comments. I don't have any comments. I do have one comment though. The Baldwin Park, took a walk around it today, looks fantastic. And thanks for addressing the fence issue. And thank you for bringing it to our attention and
Thank you. The neighbors are ecstatic.
good, that's what I like to hear. But parks is looking really good. Trash, anything around and that's the only comment I have. Commissioners, any comment, Commissioner Bender? Commissioner Walsh?
I agree with that.
Does look great. Commissioner Dahlstrom, from your undisclosed location.
Commissioner Lunt, you stole my thunder. I would also echo your comments, and this is Mark's comments earlier. I echo staff's responsiveness to the micromobility machines that are being used within the parks.
Yeah, nice job. Very nice job communicating with the public, so that's awesome. We're now down to item number F on the agenda, staff and committee reports. Mr. Executive Director.
Most of my comments are contained in the deputy director report, but I have just 2 items I want to highlight. The first one is we do not appear to have anything for the workshop meeting. So as of right now, we're recommending canceling that meeting. So your next meeting would be August 21st. And then Dean had also sent out an email for a save the date for the EDC annual luncheon for September 24th. So if you haven't and you think you want to attend, please let Dean know. We typically have a number of staff and purchase a table or 2 for that event. And with that, I'm happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Bill? Thank you very much. Mr. Deputy Director.
Thank you, sir. You actually stole mine too with McCollum Park. It looks great. I just want to thank for that project and for Lincoln Center with the Constitution Rain Garden. Paul and Kevin did a lot of work with that to make sure those fences went up. The one at Constitution Park is around that rain garden just to protect any children that might head that way. It can fill at 6 to 8 inches of water. We have some nice round rail fence there. As Mrs. Mark says, thank you so much for letting us know. The fence looks great out there. Paul checked it out today, so that was just a nice addition. My second item, the short game. I know there had been some questions about the short game area at the golf course recently. What the plan currently is Ken, our GM over at the golf course, is working with a local Chicagoland architect who does projects all over the United States. And they are drawing up 3 options for us. Currently, they have 1 option drawn up, but we wanted to provide 3 to the board to have some choices. Each of those also will have budgetary estimates as to what the cost is. The plan was to provide them. They should be done August, September, which perfectly coincides with our golf budget and capital discussion. So that'll be ideal to talk about those, have the board look at them, take some time and make decisions which way we want to go with that. So Ken will be out in September to provide those and to provide some recommendations on what he's seeing. My final item is we did conduct, Trish and I, our first of 5 long-term financial planning discussions with Commissioner Walsh, and that went very well. I just want to remind everybody in the next couple of weeks, if you could take a chance to sign up some time, we will make ourself available morning, afternoon, evening, whatever works best. We can also Zoom. What this is the 3-year, every 3 years or so, we do a long-term financial planning session. This is much easier to conduct one-on-one. We can answer individual questions, guided various ways. And Trish did a great job presenting it where it's very simple and easy to understand. So what that will do is give us kind of a layout for the future. So when you have a chance, just reach out. We'll get you on the schedule. And with that, if there's any other questions about the report, I'd be happy to take it.
I have a number of goals that you must have golfed to be able to weigh in on the conversation about the
There are a minimum number of, I'm sorry.
holes that you have golfed personally to be able to weigh in on the conversation
Well,
about the golf course.
you are allowed to count mini golf too as holes that you play.
Helpful. That will get my number of holes that I have golfed up. a little
That is why we will have Ken out here with that
It
expertise.
sounds like we need to go play a few rounds.
I have played a few rounds, but I am probably not as many as others. Just want to make sure I didn't,
Maybe a field trip for some time.
perhaps a field trip is important.
Here's one.
Okay, thank you.
You're good to go.
Thank you.
And after the round, we can get a great hot dog.
Sounds like a plan.
Thank you, Mr. Brown. F3 recreation, what do we have?
Thank you. So quick update on recreation. We're in the heart of summer camp right now. So that's going very well. We're up about 200 participants overall from last year. So that's really exciting. That continues to grow. We had our first senior pickleball social out at McCollum in June. It was not a tournament or anything like that. It was just a fun social called Dinkin' in the Sun. We had 22 seniors attend that, which we were really excited about. So we'll continue to do more out there like that. And speaking of pickleball, we had the second annual Big Dill pickleball tournament on June 29th. It was a hot day, really, really hot that day, but everyone had a lot of fun. We were down in participation with that, about half of what we had last year. We do think that was because of the date. We moved the date from September to June this year because we wanted to stay away from any potential construction going on there this fall with the tank and everything at Adventure Falls. So next year, we're planning to move it back to the fall. I think it'll do much better when it's not quite as hot there. New this fall, coming up, we have our first girls division of our flag football league. So girls have always been welcome to participate, but this year we did a dedicated girls division to try to encourage participation, especially since IHSA just created girls flag football as a sport. Our 3rd and 4th grade division is running this fall with 34 players. So small, but it's a start. So we're really excited to see that continue to grow and get the word out about that moving forward. You all know our summer concert series is up and running. We actually only have 4 more concerts. It's going fast. Summer's flying by, but it's going great out there. And then just really quick, a quick update on Adventure Falls. Just a few highlights here. As you know from previous board meetings, Carter laid out a bunch of updates he was going to be doing. Those have been really well received. They're detailed out in the report. We opened Memorial Day weekend. Our visits are down from last year. We do think a lot of that has to do with the weather that we've had. We've had a lot of closures, a lot of partial days where we had to close early or open late. A day like today where it feels like fall is not helping with that at all. But I do want to reiterate, we're planning to stay open all through August this year, which we did not do last year. We went to weekends only last year. So now with District 58 going back to school later, due to their construction, we're planning to stay open every single day. So weather permitting, we do think those numbers will pick up. Also, I ran some numbers today and halfway through July, so the first 2 weeks of July, we're actually up 110 visits from last July. So although we're still down overall, this July is already performing better than last July. So we are seeing things pick up a little bit. And our rentals have been doing so great out there. We've had 3 private rentals, 13 shade structure rentals for birthday parties, things like that. I do think July will be even higher than last July based on the amount of reservations we already have. So that's a great thing too. There is a more detailed report as board information. So I do encourage you to read that. There's more than what's in the rec report. But if you have any specific questions on that, feel free to reach out to Eric or Bill too, and we can get specific answers for you. You're welcome.
Commissioners, any questions or comments about the recommendation? Commissioner Dahlstrom, any questions, concerns? Thank you very much, and thank you for wearing.
None for me.
Yeah, you're right.
I got the memo.
That's right.
Thank you. Fitness report.
So I'm into fitness as well here. So a couple highlights for fitness. We're doing our fitness official pop-up classes again this summer. They've been going really well. We had 6 in June and we actually have 13 scheduled in July. So that schedule is up on the website. Anyone's welcome to join those. We're also starting a promotion on Saturday. It's called Halfway to the Holidays. So I think Christmas in July type of thing. To get some fitness members in here, we're going to be doing a check-in contest. So whoever checks in the most for visits will get a prize, a zero enrollment promotion for new members, discounted personal training packages, and then it's going to end with a holiday dance party on July 25th. So we count down to the holidays. So that'll be a lot of fun. But the numbers are staying strong. We see our visits continue to increase with fitness center visits and track users. I think a lot of it too is the weather. When it was really, really hot, we had a lot of people in here working out and walking. So that's it.
Correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we a number of years ago did a promotion for turkey that if you?
We did. I remember that.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a while ago.
Once you got a turkey?
Yes.
It wasn't that follow of a contest either. It was.
Oh, run it again, because we ruffled some people's feathers.
That's true.
These jokes are for the.
I'll put this.
Here we go. I mean, I like those contests. I think it's encouraging and it gives some incentive. So yeah, nice.
Right.
Now, we're also going to see a little bit of a dip because college kids are going to go back.
Yes, so we have our 3-month visit that or a pass that they can buy, but we will see that drop off in August as they start to go back to school. But we are then coming into our fall time where we start to see it pick up a little bit on the other end with people as they go into holidays and starting to think about their New Year's resolutions and all of that.
I like that content.
Yeah.
Thank you. F5 golf.
I will take this one. As you can see in the report, we've been open 20 less days than last year. But despite that, we're starting to close the gap. Some of that was we had $393,000 brought in the month of June. That's $10,000 more than last year. So for 20 less days, only being 1,000 rounds down and less than $25,000 difference, we're very pleased with that. This is also the second year in a row that we've eclipsed the $1 million mark at this time of the year. So we are trending towards the $2 million mark again, and we think we can achieve that. And of course, that could be affected by the weather. But the other thing I wanted to highlight is, again, our revenue brought in per round. This year, we're at $55.94. And last year, we were at $54.12 at this time. What that means is when I come play, someone plays a round of golf, it's the concessions, it's whatever they spend while they're out there. So that's a key indicator. And again, we're obviously moving in the right direction. Ken and I were talking and Michelle mentioned the weather, and the weather really does have a big impact on the golf operation. And, Ken said on days when it's really wet and we can't allow motorized carts to go out, the rounds go down. He told me this week on Tuesday when it was so hot and humid that many golfers tried to walk and then they start getting phone calls in the clubhouse saying, I'm on hole number 4, I'm on hole number 5, can you bring me a golf cart? So again, we get a little boost in sales there, but that 2 million mark, we're shooting for that, but that, again, weather could have a huge impact on that. And then of course, as you approved the bid for the dredging, which Bill said is tied to irrigation. And again, we're moving towards that starting in this fall. So I can answer any other question.
Appreciation to Jeff Posen. That man's a wizard on that golf course because we have carts on that course when no others in the area can have. And that's very important because our patrons really like that. So props to him for being able to get them out there as often as he does.
Mm-hmm. I can answer any questions if there are.
Commissioners, questions, comments?
A question, just out of curiosity about the report. I noticed all 4th of July weekend, the street cart was parked at the 8th tee. Nobody on it. I didn't see anybody like taking waters out of there.
Well, that's what it was set up for,
So was that maybe nobody?
because of the hot humid, we've been putting the golf cart out there at certain times with bottles of water that are free to the patrons.
Patrons,
Yeah.
that's unbelievable.
And then, of course, then we'll do the cart on its regular hours, but that was why, was to try and give that little extra refreshment as they made the turn and, you know, trying to get them into the clubhouse.
Okay, all right, yeah, I guess from the gym, I didn't see a sign or anything that said free water. I didn't see anybody.
It's in the club, it was in the clubhouse, so.
All right, that answers that.
Commissioner Dahlstrom, any questions, comments, concerns about the golf report?
None for me. Thank you for asking.
Okay. Item number F6, marketing.
Great. To piggyback off of golf, I wanted to just give a little highlight on our ad campaign for golf that we just finished up. It ran from March through June, and we targeted a 20-mile radius of the golf course. We've done this for about 3 years now, and this has been our most successful summer and spring promoting the course. We had over 1 million impressions on our ad campaign, which resulted in 5,000 clicks and 405 conversions. And then we also saw a 19% increase on our website for users compared to last year. So really great results with that. And I hope that it's been helping, you know, with driving more folks to the course. And then the other thing I wanted to highlight was our summer search in the parks. So this was a social media campaign that my team put together to help celebrate Parks and Rec Month and to also help to promote Michelle's team, their event Summer in the Park that was held last Saturday. So from July 1st through the 12th, we hid keychains at playgrounds throughout the district. Each day on social media, we posted a hint for the community to try and guess what park the keychains were hidden at. And so we had about 12 keychains at each playground. As far as I know, they were all found, and we actually had 45 of them returned at the event. So basically each keychain had a little coupon. The kids could turn that in for a chance to win a big summer prize. And we did select our winner, and they picked it up on Monday. So yeah, that was a fun new thing. And I think we'll be trying to do that again each year because people just really enjoyed it. And I also wanted to congratulate Michelle's team for a great event. Last Saturday, there was a lot of folks out at McCollum Park and really enjoyed the free event that her team put on. And then other than that, as Michelle mentioned, we've got our fitness promotion coming up, and my team's just been really busy with helping make sure that we're promoting all of the fun stuff we have coming up this summer. And we're working on some really special promotions for some of our fall events, but we'll keep those a secret for now, but really excited to be working on those, some new things in the coming weeks. So with that, are there
I've been
any?
looking forward to the flame.
Yeah, that's Flannel Fest, Team Jeff, Flannel Fest. So fun. A lot of fun stuff coming up. So.
Nice work done. Any questions, concerns, or?
Yeah, so I noticed that the Downtown Downers, you know, economic development group or whatever, does a lot of those searches downtown, and they seem very popular because I see the people walking around. Do we coordinate with them to make sure we're not doing them on the same weekends, or?
I have not coordinated with them. I mean, this is the first one that we've done, and ours were really targeted on like our parks and playgrounds, but I could definitely bring that up to her. We meet every couple of months, and so yeah, I could definitely ask her when they're planning to do their
Like
next.
they're enjoying it when they're doing it. It sounds like they enjoyed ours.
Yes.
Shame if they were on the same weekend and then.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Yeah.
more of those.
Yeah, I will
It
chat with
must
her
be
about
intentionally coordinated. Got
Yeah.
everybody out everywhere.
exactly, get everyone everywhere.
Thank you very much. F7 on the agenda, planning and construction, Paul.
Thank you. Happy to report that our new playground at Sterling and Davis Park was completed a couple weeks ago, just in time for just opened up to the public just before the holiday weekend. So kids could get out there and start using that. That was done in about a month, the construction, which was pretty quick for one of these. So that was exciting to get that one finished up. And then our other two playgrounds at Fishel Park and Prince Pond will get started after Labor Day on those renovations. Got a handful of other projects that have already been out to bid, awarded, and are scheduled for construction again in September, October timeframe. So we've been working a little bit on McCollum Park, our playground renovation planned there for next year. Finalizing some of the selections for the amenities there and the playground equipment. And we are planning to bring some of that to you at next month's meeting. At the August meeting, we'll be requesting authorization to bid so that we can go out to bid for that project this fall, as well as authorization to purchase the playground equipment. For that project, we will look to actually place the order for it ourselves. And so we'll be showing you that and a couple of other pieces. So that'll be coming up at August meeting. Happy to answer any questions.
Questions? The Sterling and Davis Park looks great.
I was gonna say the same
It
thing.
looks amazing. And every time I walk past Fischel, I'm just like, I can't wait till we get that new park. And because that's the park that I want to buy all.
Going to be exciting. Yeah.
Really looking forward.
And that official part is jammed. I mean, we've discussed it before, is jammed whenever there's a concert or event there. But yeah, good job, Paul.
Good, thank you.
Saying the word. Any other, John, do you have any questions? Planning?
Nope,
Item.
none for me. Thank you.
All right, sir. F7, or no, I'm sorry, we did have 7. F8, Parks and Facilities.
Kevin is on vacation, but staff will be happy to answer any questions.
Commissioners?
I do.
F9, Finance.
We are halfway through the year and our financials are looking very solid thus far. Our operating revenues are tracking at 52% of budget, with the main contributing factors obviously being tax receipts coming in along with charges for services. Operating expenses are coming in at 39% of budget, which is much lower compared to the 43% that we saw at this time last year. I would like to point out that maintenance and repairs is trending a little bit higher, and that is due to about $20,000 of unexpected HVAC repairs that we've had at the Lincoln Center. And then we also completed the caulking of windows at the rec center. In addition, within our contractual services, we are seeing our legal services come in a little bit higher than we anticipated at this time from last year. We are currently at 72% of our budget for legal services, and that is for the legal services rendered January through May. And I'll be happy to take any questions.
Commissioners, any questions, comments, concerns? Question?
None.
Thank you, Trish. Item number F10, Technologies, Chris.
Yes, thank you. And I just have 2 things that I want to highlight this evening. And first one is working with the software vendor. There was a major update that was done to the resident registration system. It provided a lot of fixes and security fixes to it. And then secondly, we just had our open registration for, I believe it was fall, where we utilized the queue at waiting room as well for that one again, and it went successfully. There was no issues. There was no any issues trying to get in registered. So that I'll take any questions.
Good job. So like mission accomplished, it's performing up to your expectations.
Oh, absolutely. So I was kind of hesitant at first when it came, it's going to roll out, but it is performed successfully. So, and I would say when the registration opened, within 4 minutes, there was probably 300 people waiting, and within 4 minutes, everyone got into the system. So
you're happy with the performance of the servers and everything?
Yes, very happy.
Perfect. Commissioners, comments? Nice work, Chris.
Thank you.
Mr. McAdam, C-SPAR.
I guess we had a board meeting this week where they distributed stats for participation and service hours for the spring quarter. So we'll be putting that into your pack next month. But like we're experiencing, and Michelle talked about, they're experiencing the same thing. Their participation and service hours are up. And specifically, you'll notice in those documents that Downers Grove is up pretty significantly as well from a service hour standpoint. Unlike traditional parks and recreation, special recreation uses service hours versus registrations as much. because they have a lot of participants. The participation pool is much, much smaller. And a lot of participants participate in many different programs over the year. So to be able to do a good tracking, they do it by the number of hours that participants are in programming. So you'll see that participation number has gone up as well.
Commissioners, any comments? Questions? Thank you. Moving on to G, item number G, unfinished business. G1, Downers Grove Park District Board Member. Who's going to take that, Eric?
I can take it. So, as commissioners are aware, last meeting I brought forward the Board of Commissioners manual. This is very different from what we had in the past. There's a lot more detail to it. Obviously, the first goal of the staff is always to present a good policy, so I wanted to bring it forward to you once more. If there was any further questions, further dialogue, whatnot, we could have that tonight. You could also email me, call me, however you wish. But I just wanted to make sure everybody was comfortable with this so that we could bring it forward then for the August approval.
Commissioners, has been in your board pack. I did talk to Eric about adding an org chart. That was one of them, and referencing with the ILCS, I guess, in one of the remembering our conversations.
Yes.
Commissioner Walsh, any comments, concerns?
No, I read it and it looks very good to me.
Commissioner Bender?
Page 41. It says the executive director may approve simple, low-cost contributions up to $1,000 per instance, it says in parentheses. Why not just say may approve up to $1,000 per instance? Like, why do we?
I will put that.
Simple,
That was an
low-cost.
addition from the last meeting, so that was just a matter of wording, but I can just put it as up to $1,000 per instance.
Confusing to me. Whether it was an actual 1,000. And is it $1,000 or equivalent?
Or equivalent. I'll put that. Yeah.
Free golf.
Free golf.
Free golf, a free pavilion
Free
rental.
golf
something
is
like
the most typical.
Commissioner Dahlstrom, if you had an opportunity, any questions, comments, concerns, sir?
Just one question, Commissioner Lunt, in reference to your commentary and request for the org chart to be included in policy. Does that org chart include roles or roles and names, current names held by staff?
I would recommend the org chart just have positions that are in it. Because staff changes all the time and we would be updating that manual constantly. So I think from a board policy manual, it makes the most sense to put the positions in there. But then we also publish publicly, that's on our website, and that with pictures and with persons' names and a small description of what they do.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I'm in agreement.
I guess, yeah, that kind of triggered my mind to a good question though. Does that mean we would have, like, I know when Jeff left, we created new positions for like Paul and Kevin, right?
Right.
Would that kind of change now require a change to this document if the org chart is in there?
I was just sitting here thinking about the motion for that, because it would. I think the motion could authorize the executive director to update the org chart in the manual whenever the board approves a new org chart. So we're not doing a whole bunch of different things. But it would in that sense. That's what I was sitting here thinking. I'm like, wait a minute, that's going to change all the time. So.
I mean, couldn't it be like in a, I'm sorry, like an appendix, like, and then that document would just be
We could do it
updated?
as, we could do that, yeah.
I think the org chart is important for the overall structure of the, yeah.
Absolutely, and I think when new board members come in, that's going to be an important document to give to new board members, and we gave you the org chart already. I think that's something that's important to be in there. I'm just looking at from a practicality standpoint with actual names of people. It's just a fact of life.
Right.
With the amount of staff we have. They change every couple of months, and so I don't think we want to be going back to that document to change it.
And Bill, we did exactly what you described. We've done that with like the safety manual. where the motion gave the executive director, the authority to update, especially when it was housekeeping items, things like that, that way it didn't have to come back to the board, but we've already done that for a couple of the manuals as well.
Policy, but if it was a procedural change, something like that.
Understood.
I mean, we also have an opportunity to just only list director level and above.
Yeah.
Do that too.
We could do that
Director
too.
level, department level, yeah.
That makes
Exactly with you.
a lot of sense. Would require for list updating.
Yes.
You okay with it?
Absolutely.
Okay. Thanks, John. Good suggestion.
Mhm.
Any other discussion regarding the board manual? So I think we'll be ready to vote on it next month. We'll put it on as an action item.
We'll have that. We'll have the vacancy ordinance there too. That's required for the vacancy portion of the.
Understood. Thank you, sir. G is done. Reminder for the minutes at G2 fitness equipment discussion. That's going to be tabled for the August meeting. Item number H, new business. Any new business?
No new business.
Business? Okay. Commissioners, one more time, item number I, without any objection, we can cancel the workshop meeting in August. Is there any objection to that? Just have our regular board meeting? Okay. So I'll announce the next Downers Grove Park District Board meeting will be held on August 21st, 2025 at the Recreation Center multi-purpose room in this building. And now action item J, we do have a closed section. We will not be reconvening after the closed section.
That is correct. Staff is recommending going into executive session, not return to open session pursuant to 5 ILCS 120/2 C1 of the Opens Meeting Act.
Can I have a motion to go into executive session? Second.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Bender,
Aye.
Ms. Walsh,
Aye.
Mr. Dahlstrom,
All right.
Mr. Lamont.
Aye. We are adjourned.